Everybody, and welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and Eldridge Air Conditioning. And you've joined us for race 3 on our Saturday championship. This is round 7, and we're at Watkins Glen, just outside New York, a little town called Dix. 11 turns, 3.4 miles. There's actually more than 11 turns because there is a chicane, so there's 4 turns there, but all the track guides don't actually include the chicane, so that's why it's only 11. But there you go. So yes, we are at Watkins Glen. This is our 3rd race, and the grid is as they finished in race 2. So we will have a quick look down, and then we'll get these guys underway. So on pole position for the final race is Smith. Stormfly in 2nd, Osman is 3rd, Fitzy is 4th, Pete is 5th, Brian Moncani 6th, Brian the Mechanic is 7th, Rufus is 8th, Unforgiven 9th, Hoggy 10th, and Fazer 11th. And well, we did have another driver. I think he was from Finland or Sweden or something like that, called Art, and well, he seems to have disappeared now. So maybe it was just a rogue driver, I'm not sure, but we're back down to 11. So back up to the top, and let's get this race underway. Rolling start. And I do want to say a thank you to Rufus for sharing the replays for us. I keep saying it, but without them we wouldn't be able to bring you these races. So thank you very much to Rufus for that. As Smith gets this race underway then, and into turn 1. Again, change of tyres for a few people, and it looks like the top 3, maybe even the top 4 or 5 are going to be on the medium tyres now for this race. Smith certainly is. Stormfly, he's also on the mediums. He's coming under attack already from Osman. If we jump on board with Osman, we've got Fitzy behind us, Stormfly just in front, and Osman pulls to the inside as they head towards the chicane for the first time. And we've got to come out of here so we can see what's going on. I thought there was going to be a pile-up, but they managed to avoid it. Stormfly carries on through and retains that P2. Osman into P3. I really thought he was going to go for it, Osman, as he pulled to the inside, but no. Good racing, just backed out, allowed Stormfly through, and we're all still racing. Fitzy goes up the inside though at turn 6. He's on the attack. He fancies P3 and wrestling it away from Osman. Around turn 7 they go as they start up the hill now. Osman just about holding on to P4. Well, Fitzy's got ahead of him now. So maybe the GTR is just, he's got a few more horses under that bonnet compared to the Genesis, but Fitzy moves up into P3, Osman now down into 4th. So a few positional changes already, and we've not even completed lap 1 yet. Pete in 5th, what a great race he had in race 2. We've got Brian Moncani, he's in 6th, Hoggy in 7th. Let's jump on board with Hoggy as we go across the start-finish line now. Then Brian Moncani doing a little bit of defending there. I thought Hoggy was going to have a look at the inside. He still is going to have a look at the inside into turn 1. Now he's going to be side by side. Oh, now this is all getting a bit touchy-feely. Brian doesn't want to give this one up easily, does he? As Hoggy gets through and makes that move stick, so he's into P6 and getting in the slipstream of Pete. Brian Moncani all over, weaving this way and that, trying to find a way by, just having to settle just behind him as they're going into the chicane. We don't want any heroics through there just yet, not at this early stage. Pete looked like he was going a little bit wide there. I thought Hoggy was going to find the gap there through the inside, but no. Oh, now he's gone wide. Now he's having a look at the inside again at Pete into turn 6. The battle is going on behind as well. Let's jump out of here, and I think Hoggy might have just got this done as they go into turn 7. Trying to get this car slowed down, and he has. He's got that move completed, so great couple of corners for Hoggy, although he's now got a half-second penalty to serve. He's lost out to Pete, and Brian Moncani has gone through as well. Brian the Mechanic has gone through, so poor old Hoggy, he'd made a space and then lost 3. Unforgiven, he's in there as well. So what we got here, about a 6-car fight at the minute. Phaser's in there as well, Rufus. So yeah, he's well half the field in this little fight. All being led, let's have a look, all being led by Peter in 5th. He's got a proper battle on his hands with Brian Mulcahy in the other Porsche. Oh, and it looks like Rufus in the background. Let's have a see what happened to Rufus. He had a bit of a coming together with Stormfly, I think, in the second race, which put him all the way down at the back. Oh, no, it was Phaser, sorry, not Rufus, it was Phaser. But he just caught the grass, and that's what's put him out. So, unlucky for Phaser. Got some catching up to do now. So back up to the top, Smith has managed to open up a bit of a gap now, back to Fitz, who's in second, but Fitz has got half a second penalty to serve. That surely will encourage Stormfly through to P2, and Osman in P4. So this little group breaking away from the rest of the guys. So this is where the battle's going to be for the race win then, between Smith, Fitzy, Stormfly and Osman. As I say, they're pulling away from the guys behind. Pete just leading this little group as well. I thought Brian Mechanic had lost it then, but he is side by side now with Brian Mulcahy. Brian Mulcahy up on the inside through turn 7. All giving each other enough room to get around. Pete still leading this little group. Still Brian Mulcahy and Brian the Mechanic. There's too many Bries on track. Still side by side through turn 8. Now Pete coming under attack. Brian the Mechanic fancies his chances around the outside. It looks like he's got it done actually. So a great move from Brian the Mechanic. Synchronised spinning there from Brian the Mechanic and Pete. We've got to have a look at that again. That was quite something. I thought Brian the Mechanic had pulled off a fantastic move all the way around the outside. And then he just lost it, and I've gone, oh dear me. Pete had a bit of a spin with him as well, but Pete managed to keep the car facing the right way. Poor old Bry did a pirouette in the middle of the track and has now dropped him down to 10th. Let's have a look. Yeah, Pete, he started to slide and spin the same as Bry did, but managed to hold on to it. He's in 6th. Then we've got Rufus in 7th. He's having a bit of a battle with Hoggy. It's all getting a bit up close and personal between these two. We'll follow them up to through turn 4 and onto the straight. Now Hoggy really is in that slipstream. He's going to have to pull out. No bump drafting allowed. Well, I thought Hoggy might have gone for it there, but I think Rufus was picking up the slipstream from Pete just in front of him, so Hoggy couldn't get the move done. But fantastic racing between these two at the minute. All the while these are backed in though, Pete might be able to just try and get away, but not at the minute. But Rufus still fighting it out with Hoggy. Unforgiven in 9th. I really expected to see Unforgiven a little bit further up the grid than this. So maybe this is a track he struggles on, I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a track for the GTR, although a couple of the other guys are doing okay. I don't know what it is for Unforgiven. I just thought he'd be a little bit further up the field than this. Brian the Mechanic in 10th playing catch up now along with Phaser. And Phaser actually doing a good job. He has managed to catch up to the back of the pack nearly. So maybe another sort of lap, another half a lap. He might be able to get back in amongst the fight. So back up to the top then. Smith just holding Fitzy off. Fitzy, I think with the fastest lap it is a 1:45.2. Fitzy on the soft tyres though, so Smith on the mediums, Fitzy on the softs. So it's only going to be a matter of time, I think, before Fitzy goes through to take the lead as they go side by side heading towards the chicane. Who's going to give it up? And it is Fitzy that just allows Smith back through to carry on leading this race. But Fitzy, he's just biding his time. And as I say, on the soft tyres, he really needs to get by Smith as quick as he can, though, to make the most of his tyres. They are starting to wear. If you look at Smith's, there's hardly anything on that. Fitzy's probably down 20%, maybe a bit more, so he does need to get by Smith as quickly as he can. Try and open up a gap, get some decent quick laps in if he wants to secure the win. Stormfly in third, he's on the mediums, as is Osman in fourth. He's putting Stormfly under some pressure now. Then we've got Brian Moncani. Well, he's sort of on his own, isn't he? He's not under any great pressure at the minute from Hoggy. Unforgiven up to 7th. He's got by Pete and Rufus, so this is more like it from Unforgiven. Pete just sitting behind him. Then we've got Rufus, Brian the mechanic, and Fazer. I thought he was going to catch up. Actually, I thought he might have caught up to the back of the pack by now. So I'm sure this is going to be one track he wants to see the back of. But back up to the front, and then Smith is doing absolutely everything he can to keep Fitzy behind him. Now Fitzy this time pulls out. Smith defends again, takes the inside line. Fitzy going to go around the outside now. Is he going to back out again, or are they still going to go side by side? And Fitzy just pulls out again to allow Smith to go through. This is great racing between these guys. Stormfly sitting in third. He's just waiting for one of them to make a mistake. We just see Osman has got a half-a-second penalty. He'll be cussing and cursing in that Genesis. At the minute he's in the thick of it, but that half a second is just going to allow the guys just to pull away from him. As we follow Osman through and up towards the penalty zone, and there we go, penalty served. Back onto the power. He wants to try and stay in the slipstream of Stormfly. He doesn't want to let the guys get too far ahead of him. You can see the little bit of a gap opened up now, but I think Osman might just still be in the slipstream. I think it's within 8/10 you have to be, and it does look like Osman is there, so he can still hang on to the three guys in front of him. So he's still got his eye on the podium, and why not? We've still got another 4.5 minutes to go. So we've got Hoggy in 5th, Brian Moncani, he is in 6th. I need a quick drink of juice. Oh, poor old Unforgiven, another penalty. Now then, where is Pete? Pete, well, he's battling away with Rufus, isn't he? For 8 and 9, so it is Rufus that is going to be closest to Unforgiven, although there is still a gap. So I think Unforgiven is safe when he serves that penalty. I don't think he's going to lose track position. A few battle scars on the front of that GTR, isn't there? Yeah, I think we can just see Rufus in the background, but I don't think he's close enough to take P7 away from Unforgiven. Oh, and well, there you go. Rufus has got a half a second as well, so Unforgiven is definitely safe for now. Pete, he'll be looking to try and get a little bit closer to Rufus, maybe thinking about taking P08 away from him. Let's just follow these through. In fact, we'll just stick with Rufus, because when he serves that penalty, it might be easier to see if Pete can get by him. So there we go, penalty served, back on the power again, trying to get back up to speed, and I think Rufus is going to hold on to it. Pete wasn't close enough, was he, to challenge Rufus, so Rufus can concentrate on the back of Unforgiven's car again. So let's just go back up and see what's happening with the guys at the front. And Smith, who's led for, well, nearly all of this race. Well, he has led for all of this race, hasn't he? What am I on about? He's still leading, and Fitzy, well, he's done everything he can, can't he? But I think the tyres are going to start to give up on him now. Well, let's have a look at the time. So we're just coming up to about 2 minutes of this third race to go. And Smith still leading Fitzy on the tyres. Well, they're over 50% worn, so he'll start to feel that pretty shortly. Stormfly's on the mediums. Maybe Stormfly fancies moving up the podium steps and taking P2 away from Fitzy. As I say, if Fitzy starts to struggle on the tyres, then Stormfly is perfectly placed to actually make a move on him. Osman just dropped off the pace a little bit after serving that penalty a lap or so ago. He can still see the guys in front, but he's not close enough to put a challenge in at the minute. So a quick rundown of the grid then before we go back up to the top for the final few corners. Unforgiven in 6th. Well, he's just got by Brian Moncani, hasn't he? So Unforgiven up to 6th. This is more like it from Unforgiven. Brian Moncani down into 7th. Rufus in 8th. Pete. And then Fazer, and then Brian the Mechanic down in 11th. And those tyres really worn on Brian the Mechanic's car, so the end of the race can't come soon enough for him. But back up to the top then as Smith goes around turn 1 for the last time. Still out in front, bit of a gap now back to Fitzy. So Fitzy, I think he's starting to struggle on the tyres now. He's got more defending to do than attacking. Stormfly on the other hand, we mentioned it a minute ago, didn't we, that Stormfly will fancy getting a bit further up the podium steps as Fitzy goes defensive as they head down towards the chicane. Stormfly tries to go around the outside, has to back out. Good defending from Fitzy. He's got a bit more to do yet though, because Stormfly is all over the back of him. Around turn 5, and Stormfly getting right up underneath that GTR of Fitzy's. Through turn 6, down the hill now towards the toe. Now if Stormfly is going to make a move, he's going to have to do it pretty quickly. They're now going up the hill and through the penalty zone. None of them serving penalties, but that's where we are on track. Around turn 8, again Fitzy takes the defensive line. Nowhere for Stormfly to get by now then. If Stormfly wants this, he's going to have to go the long way around, and Fitzy's going to make him work for it. This is going to be a great run in. Smith has pretty much got this race sewn up. He's only got 2 more turns to go. Around turn 10 he goes up towards turn 11. This is where the battle is though, and Fitzy just managing to hold on to it as we see Smith coming up towards the checkered flag. We're just watching the guys in the background. So Smith takes the win. Fitzy's going to get 2nd, just ahead of Stormfly in 3rd. Osman is 4th. What great racing between those guys. Hoggy, he's going to come home in 5th. He'll be pleased with that. Good result for him. Brian Moncani just ahead of Unforgiven. Brian Moncani takes 6th. Unforgiven 7th. Rufus gets 8th. Pete gets 9th. Fazer will cross the line in 10th, and then Brian the Mechanic, it's as I say, just not been his night, has it? He will cross the line now in 11th. So that's it for round 7. Next week we will be at the Red Bull Ring for round 8. Hope you can join me for that. If you've enjoyed these races, remember, please hit that like button. I shall catch you all very shortly.